Good afternoon. It is February 27th, 2026. It's the last day of the month. Here's a picture of the weekly chart. So we're still just, we're just ranging. That's all there's really going on. Here's a daily chart, still just in that range, and the monthly chart. So today was the last day of the month. I'm on the ES, so I don't have all my drawings here, but we're at the top of a trend channel. Um, maybe let's see. So we're in this bull market that started really in October of 2022. So going on 3.5 years in a bull market. But anyway, so let's take a look at the intraday 2700 tick chart. So it looks like we gapped down in the overnight uh, yesterday, and then we traded up, and then formed a tight bear channel, and that was to this low was about 75 points. So at that point you're probably at the average daily bar size. I mean, it's about 90 points lately, so you're near it. So there's not a whole lot. You can anticipate not a whole lot more to the downside. And so, you might consider buying. And then we form this contracting triangle. So it's a bull channel, and we get the bear channel or the bear breakout, which is what we normally would expect. It pulls back, it forms two legs, tests the high of that triangle, and then strong sell off. Um, where we go sideways for a little bit, boom, break out to the high side, hit a measured move, come back down to support, bounce, and then we go a little higher. So let's take a closer look. This bear trend in the overnight was fairly strong. You can see when we break out below these lows that we quickly close the body gap for what it's worth. Big bear bar right here must have been a news item at 5:30 or something. Yeah, and price quickly came back up. It became a doji. And then you get a bunch of bars that close inside of that. So depending on how you feel, I mean, we're in a bear channel. You probably shouldn't go long in here. Um, Wait for a pullback, and we get a pullback to the EMA, and unfortunately, there's a lot of overlap. But you could argue that that's a second entry short, so maybe you consider going long there. Or I mean short, excuse me. Let me delete this. Um, so we do test the lows, we bounce. Still no gap above the EMA, so I'm not really considering going long just yet. But you do get another pullback to this level of resistance, and I think this is okay to enter on a limit order. I'm not crazy about entering on a stop order. However, uh, you're not 100% sure this is a trading range just yet, but there are signs. This is the open of this news item bar, and that's where we happen to go sideways. So, you could anticipate a trading range, and we did bounce 3 times down here. So, I don't, I don't think it's the best idea to go short on a stop order here, but I don't think it's terrible. So anyway, we make a higher low here, come back to the highs, and none of this looks too great to me. Technically, this is a second entry short, uh, but I think this is good for a limit order because clearly at this point this is range highs. And look, you have two dojis in a row, so it's just not convincing that we're going to get a strong bull breakout, and that turns out to be a very good move. Uh, I'm not sure why this turned out to be support, but it did, and you get a strong bull bar. So if you didn't take profits, you know, you're going to have to take profits there. Pulls back to the EMA, bounces a little bit, but that fails. Boom, we go higher. Second leg up, around the middle of the range before coming back down and testing the lows, and then we just go sideways until about 7 o'clock. You go to the high of the range, come back down, bounce off the midline of the range. That's also coinciding with the EMA, and it bounces. I don't see any way to get long in here really, on a stop order at least. But if you're like, okay, this looks like a bottom to me, then yeah, you can start, putting in some longs. I mean, we're above the EMA. So, you get one leg up, two legs up. To me, this kind of looks like a channel in which we got a break and a move to a new high. Sell off. That makes a higher low. Come back, we gap above the EMA again. Boom. Yet another higher low. And we go higher. And so, now it's like looking like, all right, maybe we're going higher, but it's just not very strong. So form resistance here. Boom. So maybe you consider this. I think, in looking over here at this bear trend from the overnight, now we're getting closes above these closes. So if you look over here, that closed above that close, above these closes. So I mean, if you're like, okay, you might take that. The problem is, if you enter on a stop order and put your stop loss below this bar, you should probably go for a large reward. And you do get a large reward here, but I think if you enter here, you gotta be okay with maybe scaling in and putting your stop down here. Just because, it's very choppy here. And so you just don't really know, or I don't know, there's just not a whole lot of confidence in the bull strength. But let's look at this leg and see if this is pretty much a measure move. So looks like this came just short, but that's pretty close. And you could look at it as like a repeat pattern. It's another sign, signal for taking it. Boom. So just back and forth here. Bounce. You get a higher low. Can you take this huge bull bar? I mean, look at how much resistance you're going into. But I mean that big bull bar, it's convincing. But I mean, look to the left. Look at this big bull bar. The follow through was pretty poor. And that's what happened here. So when we start to find resistance here consistently, this is one I would probably consider. But just for a scalp, room back to the EMA. Maybe scalp in hopes of a breakout to the low side, and that doesn't happen. I don't think I would take this one, but maybe I would. I mean, look how much room back to the EMA there is. And this is a bull channel, so you're expecting a bear breakout. So I mean, I think that makes sense. Bounce, double bottom. Get this double bottom before going higher. It tests the high of the triangle. You got a level of potential resistance right there, a level of potential resistance right there. So, a big bear bar, worth considering. Turns out to be a great move. It bounces down here, and we start moving sideways in this range. So you get one leg up here, then you get a second leg up, this bull bar, and then you get like a third leg up that's comprised of two legs. So maybe you look at that as a parabolic sell climax. It's also at, you could argue, at the near the 50% mark. So it went a little beyond the 50% mark of this bear move. So maybe you consider going short here because of that. come down, test these lows, make a higher low, come back here. You can see this like tight bull channel, then we get a breakout, lower high, failed second entry long, but we're just in this range. So it chops on down and you form this double bottom. A lot of room back to the EMA. I kind of like this one. Come back to the highs. Can you take this? I mean, yeah, you can take this, but I'm not crazy about it. It's at high, so I mean, I like it. I like it on a limit order. And I mean, look how much room there is back to the EMA. So you could take it on a stop order, put your stop loss right there. Limit order, consider scaling in. Boom, you get a spike in bear channel. When we break below this low, the gap closes instantly. So I like considering this higher low. I like considering this failed second entry short. Even though it's going into the EMA, you're at the low of the range. And if you get lucky, we not only go to the top of the range, but we hit a measure move. And that's exactly what happened. So you would have gotten lucky. And I like this just because it's at the measured move, but this is one where I believe you would have to be willing to scale in. And it turns out to be a very good move. But I got out when prices were just going sideways because I didn't like that. I was hoping for after this lower high that we would go back to the EMA. So then we bounce again at support. You could consider this. Looks a little too risky for me, but turns out to be another good move. And then look, all the buy the close bulls, they bought this one. It immediately goes down, and look, they get out at break even here. And it actually went a little bit further. So, I mean, if you want to take this bear bar, I don't think that's a bad idea. And that really is pretty much the end of the day. So, there's one last look at it. Hope everyone had a good week. I'll be back Monday.